Hey, hello, this is Andrea, and today is Friday, October 13th, 2023. How are you? I hope you're well today. It looks nice outside here in southeastern Pennsylvania. It's been a little cold lately at night, but mostly, what do they call, temperate during the day? However you want to say it. Bob, I forgot to put this in the video, my last video, but Bob had done a puzzle last week or the week before, and it was one that my oldest and their girlfriend bought for Bob, I believe, and there's a video of it right here. Here's the puzzle Bob did lately? Recently? 1,000 pieces. It's got really interesting book names and things in it. Lots of stuff to look at. And there's the box. So he's since put that away. And right now he's working on setting up some of his old computers. He likes to do like computer hobbies with old computers. You know what I'm saying? Like he has a Commodore 64, and then he has some other old computers, and I think he has a 286 or a 386, something like that. Anyway. So I wanted to talk about, so I watched this guy, and I also listened to his, I just started listening to his, what are those called? Podcast. And it's called, I don't know if it's called this or he's called this the Report of the Week. I'll put a link to his podcast and his channel or channels in the description below, but he does this radio podcast, and I was just listening to the one from, I think it's from September 29th. I mean, radio, because he calls it a radio station, but I think he does broadcast it also on the radio somehow. I'm not sure exactly. Anyway, he does this thing where listeners can send him email and ask him questions, and he answers them. And someone sent him a question. It was something like, how do I know what I'm supposed to do with my life? I feel like I'm wandering around and I don't know what's my purpose or what kind of job I'm supposed to have and stuff like that. And it got me to thinking a lot, because I used to feel that way when I was younger. I'm 53 right now. So like in my 20s and 30s, well, even in my teens, I used to worry about that. And I think part of it was because my mom used to tell me that she always knew that she wanted to be a nurse, and that I should just know what I wanted to do with my life and stuff like that. And it just stressed me out a lot, And I did know people who knew what they wanted to do with their life. If they wanted to be a teacher or a pharmacist, or these are people that I went to school with. These are actual examples. And I just never had that. I had things when I was really young, like I wanted to be an astronaut or a singer, but it's just because when you're really young, you see those kinds of things. So I spent a few decades worrying about that kind of stuff. And let me take my sweater off. I'm getting a little hot. And I just wanted to say to any younger people that are watching, it's okay if you don't know what you want to do. I just looked in the window because I saw something going by, and it was the cat's reflection. Yeah, it's okay if you don't know what you want to do. It's okay if you don't have something that you feel like is your purpose. And that's because, like, I can look back on my life now and I see the things that I've achieved. And I tried so many different jobs at different times and enjoyed what I was doing for the most part. Sometimes I didn't. I feel like just try different things. Just do, what's in front of you, like you have job opportunities or you go looking for jobs and try those things. And I didn't realize it till I was older that I did have a goal in mind, but I had never thought of it really as a goal because we're always taught to think, well, your goal has got to be like some kind of job or monetary achievement or something like this. And my goal was always that I wanted to have a nice family, like a happy, loving family, and to provide like a safe environment for the people in my family, my husband and my children. And that was not, I'm not old enough for that to have been a thing that was like, oh, that's a great idea. You know what I mean? So I just kind of suppressed it in my head, but I did still work towards those things, And I know people who have had different jobs through their lifetime and have enjoyed all the things that they've done, tried something new here and there. Let's face it, we live longer than we used to, So I don't think it's the same to say, oh, I have a goal and this is my lifetime goal. Your goals are going to change over your life. And sometimes I think it's better to think in terms of short-term goals, especially when you're younger. You don't need to have like a 5 or 10 year plan when you're in your 20s, That's just the way I see it. And you have to know that you're pretty lucky, you're pretty privileged if you are at the point where you can worry about those things, can worry about those things about what should I do with my life. Because I mean, there's been times in my life, and I'm sure in some of your lives, where you just have to work to survive. You just have to get out there as fast as you can, get a job and make money, put food on the table, So that's my thought about those things. I feel like it's okay that I didn't have any big long-term goals, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm just beating a dead horse now, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I wouldn't mind to hear about, if you have any ideas on this subject too, because it's really interesting to me, especially because how much I stressed about it when I was younger. So, besides that, well, what did we do this last weekend? We had our gaming session. It's like D&D. We play something that's like D&D. My son made up this kind of gaming thing that's based on the cry of man. I don't know if you know what that is, but you can look it up on YouTube if you want. It's like an strange reality. It started out as a special on, I think it was Adult Swim or something like that. But the world in which the people live is so strange. Like, there's no cars, but there's trains, so there's train tracks going to everything. And it's really odd. But the game is fun. So that's what's been going on. I have this thing sitting right in front of me. I got a coupon in the mail for Spirit Halloween. I used to go there with my kids just to look around at the stuff and goof off, you know what I mean? Like, play with... They have like these, not animatronic, but things that if you step in front of them, they move around, or or we'd try on different masks and stuff, but I don't usually buy anything there. Usually what I do for Halloween is I buy a pumpkin and I carve it, and then when kids come to the door, I give them candy. I don't really buy a bunch of decorations or anything. I would like to wear costumes, but I'm always changing my mind on what costumes to wear, and I think I would just make something, because spending the money, and then what do you do with it? I mean, when my kids were younger, I had a SpongeBob costume, and it was one of those big square, it's like a square foam thing, real thin foam, and you just kind of put it on, and the front of you was SpongeBob, you know what I mean? So that was a nice thing to wear to give out candy when the kids were younger, but I don't know. I always hope that I'll get invited to a Halloween party. I'm pretty sure I've only been to one Halloween party, and it was an okay Halloween party, but I didn't really know any of the people there because I think it was some of my husband's coworkers at the time, and I didn't really know any of them. I know some of my husband's coworkers from one of the places that he worked at. We still hang out once a year, go and have a dinner out and stuff like that. But at that point, I didn't know anyone at the party, so it was a little uncomfortable. But I do like the idea of dressing up and stuff like that. So anyway, do you have any interesting plans for the weekend? We're doing our thing where we go to breakfast at the diner Saturday morning, and then we're taking, my one son wants to go to the thrift store to look for furniture. We have this thrift store near us that has really good furniture. I think they get a lot of leftover estate sale stuff because it's the only one in our area that has this kind of nice furniture. And then I'm going to go down and see my stepfather. So, and then Sunday, hopefully I just have relaxing time. We try to just have a relaxing day on Sunday when we can. Anyway, I guess that's all I got for today. I hope you're having a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.